How's it going, everyone? Welcome back for another adventure. In this one, I head out to Campbell River and dive with the pink salmon as they're heading upriver to spawn. I try out the Smaco mini scuba dive tank in the Nanaimo River. It was really cool and a fun experience flying around those tunnels. I head out to Dod Narrows with Joseph. I see a river otter, and we dive the west coast of Vancouver Island and do some spearfishing. We had some amazing conditions. This might have been my most beautiful dive to date. Magical as fairyland. What did you think I was gonna say? But yeah, I saw rock greenling too. It was awesome. From there, I do a catch and cook, a giant acorn barnacle, and I make some fish tacos from lingcod and rockfish. It was amazing. If you liked the video, like and subscribe. Peace and love, everyone. It's that time of year again here in Campbell River. Gonna be doing the salmon dive. Do it every year. It's so much fun. So majestic and beautiful. Looking at the salmon in the crystal clear water here. Hopefully crystal clear water. Yeah, at time algae blooms do happen, but I think it's gonna be decent. I got the kids with me. I got Zy Guy. What's up, Zy Guy? What up, buddy? What up, buddy? And I got Marie Samson over here. Marie, you gonna dive in with the salmon today? You gonna snorkel?
Probably.
Same with Zaya. We got wetsuits for him. And I got my lovely wife here. What's up, Jazz? Yeah, what's up, dude? What's up?
Dad's going to use a bomb.
A bomb? You mean the scuba tank? Smaco hooked up this little self-contained breathing apparatus. It's a little 10-minute tank, I believe it is. I'm gonna try this out in the water. And I got a larger tank to fill this guy up with. So pretty neat. This would be ideal for situations like today where you can't really lug in a bunch of weight and a massive scuba tank. So this will get me down to the bottom and I get to watch the salmon swim over my head. Freediving is all what I do, but this will work as well. So I'm excited to try it out. What's up?
Do you know Dad's going to use a scuba ball, which is that big?
Scuba bomb. They think it's a bomb. That's what I'm using. Doing this was actually pretty easy. You just connect this adapter to the tank. You open up the valve. You watch the gauge fill up. And then from there, you shut off the valve and just bleed off any residual pressure with this relief valve. And it's nice and full. All right, let's see, buddy. Let's see. Whew. Yeah, go over here. Oh, let's see, buddy. Let's see. Oh, he's in boxing. Oh, there you go. There you go. You get your whole body in there, too. You get your whole body in there, buddy. Yeah. Want to try to beat me up, too? Want to try to beat? Oh, Sail's actually got, look at Sail's jab. Let's see. Oh, nice. Oh, not too low, say, not too low. That one hurt. This place is so beautiful. I love it here. Views are endless. The only downside is carrying all this gear. I want to make sure Jasmine has a good time. So she comes back out. She's usually managing the kids, but I think it's fair that I lug all the stuff around with us.
Sarah, watch out. Why did these stairs are broken?
What a good little brother. I was a little bit nervous talking to a lady. She said there's hardly any salmon in here, but I see one there. They're jumping all over the place. I saw a solid amount. It's hard to see with the glare, the reflection in the water, but there's a couple there. So it's not going to be a complete bust. Maybe not as many as historically. There's been no rain, and once it rains, that's when all the fish seem to come up the river. So just waiting on that. But it's going to be fun. Get to try out the tank at minimum. And I for sure 100% will see pink salmon spawning today. Technically not spawning, I know, but on their way to spawn. What do you guys see?
Water spider.
Oh yeah, super slippery there, so you don't want to fall in that river. Here's my equipment for the day, thanks to Diving Sports, the majority. I got the leader getting salty fins, custom edition. I got my Ace Pro 2 for underwater filming with the Elite Shark CX8000 lumen dive torch. I might use the dive light, I'm not positive. Depends on the natural lighting. Sometimes that works just as nicely. I got a Cressy 3.5mm suit. I don't need anything too intense. As a result of that though, I took some weight off my belt. You don't want to be too negative. At the same time, I do like being a little negative, a little overweighted, so I can sit at the bottom and not spook the salmon and they just swim right over me. Oh yeah, and I got this secondary light. This is the Workos DL08. This light is sick. I think this is my favorite light in terms of versatility. I still have not done a review on it, but it's dope. Got a black light on there, torch, and a video light, and a red light. And last but not least, again, the Smaco which I am excited to try out. Okay, so originally I was planning on doing the review in the Campbell River with the pink salmon, but the footage I captured wasn't what I was looking for, and it was also my first time using the tank in the water, which was a bit of a learning curve. Not too bad, but I wasted a lot of air just trying to navigate the equipment, so I felt like I'd bring this to another spot. Joseph joined me to the Nanaimo River, and I swam around the tunnels with the mini tank. I've been calling it Smaco in the video so far. It's called the Smaco. I'm going to get into the detailed review here shortly, but if you are looking for one of these tanks, I do have an affiliate link. You can check it out, and they're running a promotion in October, so keep an eye. It's a buy one get one free, so if you want to support my channel, my affiliate link does the trick as well. The tank is really cool for specific tasks, especially if you're a boat owner and you want to go down and switch your anodes, do some inspections, or maybe you have rope wrapped around your prop. I think this would be a great tool to have. Or let's say you have a dock and you drop a tool or something off that dock, you can use the Smaco to go down and search. When I'm diving spots and looking for treasures, I'm gonna have this tool with me as well. I can go down and really spend a bit of time looking for rings and other miscellaneous stuff people lose at the bottom of those cliff jumping spots. So looking for treasures, it's gonna be a great tool. The Smaco 10 minutes, they do say 10-minute tank. That is gonna be give or take depending on individual breathing rate and how well you can conserve your oxygen. Right here I'm checking the oxygen levels. You take the tank out of your mouth, check the gauge, and put it back in. I was pretty impressed with the amount of air that I had. Did I get the full 10 minutes myself? No, but I'll be honest, I was a little bit nervous trying this out, so I was most likely breathing heavier than I normally would have. I'm a freediver. Is this going to replace freediving for me? No. I do have my scuba certificate. Is this going to replace scuba diving for me? No. But I likely will be using this more than I do scuba dive, just due to the sheer convenience of the fact that I can just put it in my mouth and dive in. I don't have to don a dry suit. I don't have to put on any additional weight. So the convenience of it is absolutely awesome. My dad saw part of this video and he said that he's been looking at one of these, so I'll either loan him this one or he might buy his own as well. The bike pump is really cool, how you can charge it on the go. It takes about 20 to 30 minutes to get it full, which is actually a decent workout. So if you throw a TV on and just pump it up, that's great. I come here and free dive all the time. I can free dive this stuff no problem whatsoever, but it was cool to be able to explore without going to the surface, and I could really get a feel for other tunnels. So it's an awesome tool, and people in the past have asked me, hey, would I recommend these? In the past, I always said no. Learn a free dive or learn how to scuba dive. I actually stand by that. Learn a free dive, learn how to scuba dive. But I have a newfound respect for the Smaco. I will be using this. I want to explore that cave that I saw a while ago, that tunnel. I don't know if you remember that from one of my videos in a coal mine. It's a really dark cave, and it'd be hard to bring all my scuba diving stuff down there, and free diving wouldn't give me much of a chance to explore. Okay, but that's the review. Awesome piece of equipment. Thanks, Smaco, for sending me that to try out. But now we're back to free diving mode, back to the Campbell River. The salmon, pink salmon, were all over the place, but still not as many as I have seen in previous years. I came a little bit earlier in the season, and due to the lack of rain, a lot of the salmon were hanging out at the river's mouth, and I just don't think it was as healthy of a return as you would have seen in previous years. In the natural pink salmon, it's a 2-year cycle, but since these are all hatchery, they have been able to synthesize the runs, and there's a pretty healthy pink salmon run every year in the Campbell River as a result. Pros and cons with the hatchery, I don't want to get into that. I'm just gonna sit back, look at this footage, and enjoy the moments that I was capturing on camera. If you haven't dove with salmon in the past, I do highly recommend it. Proper etiquette's important though. Try not to spook them best you can. Don't go into these spawning grounds where they're depositing eggs and fertilizing eggs. You don't want to spook them, especially when they're at that stage in their migration. But when they pool in these rivers, just swimming around gracefully, going to the bottom, watching them go overhead and beside you, it's one of those life-changing experiences. This right here was some fishing line that I did take out of the river. There was a lady I saw on a local Facebook group, a snorkeling group. She was livid and so mad that people were swimming with salmon. I don't really know what her deal was, but makes me wonder if she eats salmon. Probably. Makes me wonder if she drives a vehicle. Probably, because chemicals from the tires leach into these rivers and kill coho and pinks and all of the above. So it's funny when people pick and choose their battles, but as a avid ocean lover, river lover, lake lover, all of the above, when I get into these environments, I'm able to clean them up. So we do a lot of positives, we do a lot of good, and we also inspire other people, hopefully, to live a more sustainable lifestyle. But the diving was awesome. It wasn't as good as previous years, which I'm actually okay with because it makes me even more excited to come back next season.
Round 2 with my daughter. You ready for this, Sayla? You excited? You can't go on my back, okay? Let's do it, okay? Go on my back. Yeah, you know how to swim, say. Good, Sayla? It's gonna be cold for a couple seconds, alright? Are you ready? Look how brave Sayla is! Hold my head, hold my head. Hold my head. Do you wanna go see salmon?
These experiences are worth their weight in gold to me. Sayla absolutely killed it. She swam all the way over to the salmon, took a peek even though she was cold, and she was really, really happy she did. Saya, on the other hand, as soon as he hit the water, he was freezing and was not having it. The wetsuit, to be fair though, did not fit him, but I'm a proud father. These moments like this, they're amazing to me and so stoked.
Good job, baby. Hey, dig it. Stay on. Love you.
Well, Campbell River, that was fun. I saw some pink salmon and a sockeye. I think I saw some springs too. I always see that one sockeye. It's pretty funny. Every year I come here. Not as many as I have seen in previous years. I might come back in a few weeks, who knows. I still got some good footage, I think, especially in the deeper pool. The problem is the visibility is never as good there and the current's a bit stronger, but I still got some good footage in there and a few in the clearer water as well. They're just more skittish than normal and would peace out as soon as I get up to them. But that was fun. Kids had a good time. No meltdowns. Minus when I brought them in the river. They weren't too happy with the cold water. All right, off to our next adventure. Sayla,
Yeah.
do you remember coming here when you were a little kid?
Yeah.
Acting all crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're running around after you got the ice cream. That was fun. Do you remember coming here, buddy?
Yeah.
You got the massive 2 scoops, or was that you? You got 2 scoops of ice cream.
Yeah, it was just
Then only got
Yeah.
the baby.
The baby scoop is like enough for an adult, or like too much for an adult. They hook it up here. I love making YouTube videos, but at the end of the day, it's a passion project. The real benefit to me is having my life documented, having these moments in time captured. I can go back and review them whenever I want. That's the true magic when it comes to YouTube. Met up with Joseph. We are en route to Dod Narrows. We hiked down here the other day. The viz looked awesome, but we're going to bring our spear guns down. There's a solid slack between 3 and 5. When I come here, I often come here in the winter, usually October. That's when the boat traffic dies off, and there's some nice opportunities to get into the rapids there in October with the tides. This spot is very, very tidal. For the record, I would not recommend coming here. There's a lot of boat traffic that's going to be ripping through during slack, log booms, all of the above, and this spot is dangerous just in the current itself. But me and him are pretty competent. We're going to do one up, one down, some serious butted diving here. We do have our spear guns with us. Going to look for some fish. That's something else I don't like doing, is giving away diving spots, but this isn't a spot that I would typically spearfish, and I don't think many people would because it's sketchy. And we might not even bring our spear guns in the water. We'll see what happens. I know there's some, not gooseneck barnacles, the giant acorn barnacles. Gonna look for some of those, do some hand harvesting. Last time we hiked down here, I saw some massive mussels as well, like gargantuan mussels. And I did check and the mussels are open. So we're gonna grab some mussels too. Tomorrow we're gonna do some spearfishing off the west coast. We got a fun few days ahead of us. And then I might do a river dive again, we'll see. Yeah, the best invasive species we have here in British Columbia, blackberries. I wish European green crabs were that flavorful. Unfortunately, there's like no meat on them. I've only tried it once and they were decent, don't get me wrong, but way too much work for a little reward, and grabbing a few wouldn't make a difference either. Haven't seen any European green crab off this coast, thankfully. Hopefully it stays the same, but I doubt it. Eventually they'll make their way everywhere. I think we were here 4 days ago and the visibility was awesome. You don't know around here. It can be great one day, horrible the next. Actually, I've seen it where it's been nice at the beginning of the day, tide changes, and then the water turns crappy. So we got our fingers crossed right now. It is looking pretty emerald. I think it's comparable to the other day, maybe a bit greener.
It's emerald, yeah.
Yeah. But still looks clear, yeah. Oh yeah. Our plan was to go in on the north side of the passage and look around, and if we saw some interesting structure, we were going to stick around and keep looking, but if the conditions weren't great or we weren't seeing the structure we were looking for, we were going to bail, and that ended up being the case. The visibility was really crappy. Some decent structure, but the current was ripping and we couldn't really explore it thoroughly, so we bailed and went through the passage. Yeah, let's cruise the current all the way back. Hopefully the viz is better than this. Give you a lot of work for nothing. Can't see shit, yeah. We did give it some effort though. We dove down and we're peeking our light into some cracks and crevices, hoping to see a lingcod or rockfish poking its head back at us, but we didn't. Not any lingcod that I'd shoot anyways. The spot here, I have dove this in the past for that matter, in the wintertime where the visibility was a lot better, and I did see some lingcod here. Smaller ones, borderline legal, but still bigger than the ones we were seeing on this day, like that one that just swam by. That was a decent sized one, but not 65 centimeters, and I know that due to my experience. The rocks are just littered with life though, these strawberry anemones. If you're a snorkeler, this would be a great spot to come to snorkel. You just have to watch out for boat traffic in the passage, but if you stick to the rocks, then you're safe, because boats are not going to be plowing into the rocks unless they make a mistake, but you'd have to be in the wrong place at the wrong time for that to happen, so the chances are unlikely. When you come to these spots though, you can see right there that boat screaming by. You got to be mindful of your surroundings 24/7 365 and only come here if you have experience. We were seeing red rock crab everywhere we went. I know that was a decent sized one, but since we were seeing so many, I figured, hey, I'll just grab my catch bag later and come back, because Sailor was nagging me for some crab and I wanted to provide, being her father and all. There's Joseph swimming against the current. This swim through, I love swim throughs. I've dove this one a few times. This is one of the standout features at this spot. The swim through is covered with anemones. I kind of found that if you go really fast, you're good. If you go a bit slower, then you start floating to the surface and then you can kind of get jammed up on the barnacles and stuff. I didn't have any situations while diving in this day that I felt unsafe, but I did learn a lesson. Yeah, just go a bit faster. I did that swim through about 4 or 5 times. I only show you, I think, 3 clips in total, but it was pretty fun to explore. We eventually started swimming off. I loaded my gun again. I was really hoping to find a fish to bring home. Even though we were planning on spearfishing the next day, I still wanted to shoot something. Brought my gun and all. I don't like taking my gun for a swim. I'm in the water to spear something. We gave it some valiant effort though. Saw some great structure. No fish, so I did some bird watching. I gave up. I switched out my spear gun for my catch bag. I knew there was a nice patch of mussels here, so I swam over to that patch of mussels. There's actually a lot of mussels right on the shore, right on the trail, and they're actually bigger than the ones than the patch that I was going to, but I didn't really feel right prying a bunch of mussels off the coast where everyone's coming down to enjoy the beauty. I know it's legal, I'm allowed to, but I figure I might as well swim away from the crowds and harvest from an area where no one's really going to be missing the intertidal life. So I try to be respectful to everybody in the area. By the way, the cable trail, you might have seen that clip earlier, that B-roll. The cable trail is in jeopardy of development, residential on one side, industrial on the other, so it could change the whole dynamics of this area. There's no sanitary closures, but if there's an industrial park here, there will be for sure. Plus a lot of killer whales come through this area. Yeah, it's a bummer if that actually transpires. So check out the Facebook group Save the Cable Bay Trail and give them your support. That was a cool shore crab. This is a red rock. Joseph found one for me. He found another good sized one and fed it a mussel, and he told me not to harvest that one because it accepted his gift, and I found the crab. It was mowing down a mussel in a crevice. It's pretty funny. Here's another red rock. I found 3. He gave me one. When I looked in my bag, I only had 2 though. One snuck out. Lucky guy. This was the highlight right here though. I saw a lingcod in the shallows and I looked to the right of me and this guy was creeping up on it, and then it just kind of startled me, and I got some good footage though. I never captured these on film, so this was the highlight and I'll leave you with that. You see that? That river otter? Yeah. There's a lingcod in like a few feet of water, and the river otter is like about to grab it, and then it saw me, then it like spooked around and swimming all around here. It's 4:42. I think we got in the water like 2:30, something like that. Couple hour dive at least. Today was pretty productive. I got enough footage for a review I'm gonna do for Torch. I got some mussels, 2 crabs. Sayla's been bugging me for crab, and saw that river otter on the way out. That was really cool. The spot's just beautiful. I was hoping to find a lingcod, but diving was a bit tricky with the current, boats, and we were seeing smaller ones, but nothing that I would take home. Nothing that I'd be allowed to take home. It'd be illegal to shoot one the size we were seeing. But it was fun. Good exercise, and hanging out with Joseph is always a good time. Tomorrow will be the spearfishing day. Tomorrow we'll get some fish. Right now I'm gonna go back and cook up some gooseneck barnacles I took out of the freezer, black rockfish I shot last week, and these mussels and crab. So cookout time.
I see the crab.
Over this side, bro. I'm eating breakfast at like 6 o'clock at night.
Can you bring one out?
Yeah, grab one. You like this?
But don't break him.
Don't break them? Well, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna clean them out. Because you guys want to eat them for dinner, right? So I have to kill them, okay?
What?
You wanted to eat them, right?
Yeah.
So how do you think we're gonna eat them?
Kill them.
So is that okay if I kill it?
Yeah, just only one.
What are you gonna do with the other one?
No!
That's told gooseneck barnacles do not freeze well. Well, we'll see, we'll see. They look pretty good. They look decent still. They're already cooked. I'm gonna throw them on the skillet once we get it all nice and hot. Put more in there. Major reason I spearfish is because it is sustainable, but I feel like it defeats the purpose when you throw your fish in a freezer bag and then this gets tossed in the garbage. So I'll wash this one out. We'll see what happens. I think I can reuse it. I think I can reseal it. I don't see why not. Less plastic waste. Again, you're buying stuff at the grocery store, it all comes in plastic, and that's part of the problem. I'm not very fancy. I just used a bit of salted butter, and the crab I just cooked up in salt water. Sayla likes it simple, no Old Bay or anything like that. The fish, butter, olive oil, and this mango habanero seasoning that I get at Costco. It's been really good. I use it on everything. Cooked up the fish in the cast iron skillet, gets it nice and crispy. I'm growing some peppers. Did a good stack there. Got a bunch of grape tomatoes. First year gardening, and it's been going really good. And kids love it too. Just eating food right off the vine. Cilantro, chives, steak tomatoes, all that good stuff. Yum. The gooseneck barnacles, same thing. I just threw it in with the butter, salted butter, some seasoning salt, and a couple chili peppers that I got from the garden. Very good, very good. Spicy. Takes your breath away. That's awesome. I caught this back in April. It's September 1st tomorrow. So whoever says they don't freeze well is wrong. Probably not as good as they are fresh, but that's true for every seafood that I harvest. This turned out really good as well. I was mad on a quick bite. I love how the skin's nice and crispy. Ooh. Oh, very good, very good. And then over here, I gotta see this crab. She was playing downstairs beside. I gotta wash my gear. We're waking up early, heading off to the west coast. Boat dive tomorrow, so I gotta get some rest of me. Alright, stay tuned, because there's a lot more excitement. Funner than today, even though today was a good time. What's up, Frederick?
What's up?
What's up, TJ?
What's up, homie?
What's up, Michael? What's up, Joseph? As you can tell, we had a pretty amazing group with us. We also had Connor. He's got a huge YouTube channel, Fort 9, I believe it's called. And he also has a new one called Defender, where he's doing a bunch of spearfishing and freediving content. So stay tuned for that. Shout out to Fred. Lori and Fred own East to West Freediving in Victoria. Check out the shop, it's amazing. We're at our first spot right now. Random kelp patch. This is warm-up spot, Fred?
Yep, yeah, and this is the spot where I'm gonna shoot up.
Cool. Oh yeah, I can see. Oh wow. Man, that's unheard of around here. That's some clear water, better than last time we were here even.
Shane down the road. Yeah. Clears.
7 meters? That's not bad.
12, another 7. Yeah, right here's fine.
And this, I'm sure, is what most of you have been waiting for, if not what some of you have scanned forward to. the spearfishing content. We had amazing conditions, probably the best conditions I've ever seen in Vancouver Island, period. This dive was nothing short of amazing. I'm really excited to share this content. I loaded my gun. I didn't even do a dive. I just loaded the gun and got right to it. On my first drop, I saw this lingcod hanging out at the bottom. It was undersized, but still a really good sign on your first dive to see a lingcod come right up to your spear. The second dive I did, I started looking in some of the crevices and I saw a big school of rockfish in the distance. Saw a good size one, so I lined up. Boom. I didn't stone it, but I brought it up to the surface. First rockfish in the bag. This is the exact same shot from a different angle. On the mask, I have the Ace Pro, and on the gun, I have the Ace Pro 2. This was a decent sized rockfish on the upper medium size. Perfect for fish burritos. I was trying out another new torch by Orca. This one's pretty dope. It's zoomable, just like the last one, so stay tuned for a review. I dove down and I was looking for a Puget Sound king crab on that overhanging ledge. I didn't find any, but I did see a monster rockfish down at the bottom, so I took the shot as well. Rockfish are not hard to shoot any way, shape, or form. Trying to find a nice, healthy school can be a struggle. They're around, but they do take some effort to find. Joseph got this clip of me here. Thanks, Joseph. He donated a few shots for this video, and here I am braining this black rockfish nice and quickly, putting it out of its misery, and that helps to preserve the quality of meat. I did some more hole hunting. You can see a lingcod down here at the bottom, just out of frame actually. Just give it a second. See that monster? It swims away. I completely missed it, but I did see this cabezon, good sized cabezon, and I took the shot, and I love cabezon. Perfect for fish cakes, and that's what I'll make this guy into. Here's another shot of the lingcod. See him down at the bottom there? It's hard to tell, but that's a monster. That's a good size one. I'm bummed out that I missed it until it was too late. And here we go. Cabezon round 2. Thanks, little cabby. You are delicious. Now at this point, I still have a lot more fish I'm allowed to harvest, but I couldn't believe the amount of life that was on the wall, so I switched my camera around on my gun, unloaded the gun, of course, because you never point a loaded gun towards you, and I begun filming the life on the walls. This clip right here, the footage is probably 45 seconds, but I fast forward the footage just so it's not too boring and redundant. This right here is behind the scenes footage. That's how I film the majority of my content. If I have a gun in my hand, I just switch the camera around and my gun turns into a selfie stick. It's a nice little process. It works for me. But look at the life on the ledge. Absolutely phenomenal. Mind-bending, mind-warping beauty. And it just fires me up. Way more in person than watching the footage, but even watching the footage, I got FOMO. I got fear of missing out from my own content, if that's even possible. I can't wait to go back here. I loaded my gun though. Didn't reach my 3 rockfish limit at this point. I knew there was some good lingcod in the area, so I wanted to continue harvesting. I saw this copper. It was a decent size. Already shot some black rockfish, so boom. I pulled the trigger and I stoned that guy. Completely lights out. That's why spearfishing's the best, especially if you get a stone shot, because we put our fish out of misery ASAP. No stress of fighting them on a fishing line. With commercial fishing, they don't have time to bleed their fish. They just suffocate on the deck, and that deteriorates the quality of meat and also isn't really good for the wildlife either. I know they don't have facial features, they don't have expressions, but they feel pain and they want to live just like we do. So if we're going to take their life, do it responsibly, do it humanely, take them out as quick as you can.
I want some diversity. Good for the copper. Yeah. Nice looking fish.
Joseph donated this clip to me as well. There I am shooting that copper rockfish. I don't see it in the clip. He didn't see me swim up with it, but it actually was there, believe it or not. He gave me this footage as well. He has a different style of diving than I do. I kind of dive down, look around. If I see something, I shoot it. Looks like he had his safety on there. He's going to pull the trigger. He, on the other hand, he just dives down to the bottom, does some grouper calls, and hangs out in the school and waits till a big one comes up to him. We both have success, so one style isn't better than the other, just different. Thanks again for the clip, man. Adding some versatility to my videos. I appreciate it. Make sure you check out Sharing the Wild on YouTube. Fried egg jellyfish in beautiful visibility with kelp in the background is a very, very hard sight to beat. I knew there was lingcod still. I hadn't given up at this point, but I saw more life in 2 or 3 feet of water that I wanted to film, so I snorkeled around the top of the pinnacle for a bit. And you can't blame me. Just look at all this vibrant life, the sponges, crazy stuff, those feather duster or tube worms. Really, really cool. I was pumped. Magical as fairyland, or magical as a word that I try not to say on my channel too much. You get the idea. Crazy beautiful. I love kelp. I found some really nice structures, so I loaded the gun, and there you go, there's a lingcod, probably around 70 centimeters, but I saw a face below the rock the lingcod was hanging out on. It was a wolf eel. I never see wolf eel. I was talking with BC Adventures. He has a scuba diving YouTube channel. We're gonna link up and dive, but I was telling him that I really want to see a wolf eel, maybe a couple of days prior to this, and then I saw a wolf eel, which was really cool. The footage I got wasn't amazing, so I went to the surface and wanted to dive down and film it a bit more, but you know how it goes. I was going bipolar between my spear gun and filming. I couldn't find it again.
There's a wolf eel. I passed up a legal lingcod for the wolf eel.
Murphy's Law, you know, I switched the camera around because I wanted to film the wolf eel, and look at the bottom of the screen. That is a mammoth of a lingcod, probably around 90, maybe 100 centimeters. Super girthy, and I didn't spear it.
I lost the spot. Monster ling down there though. I should have kept my gun loaded. The spot's taken. I was joking. I want to see that wolf eel though. That sucks.
I lost the spot where the wolf eel was hanging out, and I watched that massive lingcod swim away, so I was hanging my head in defeat, but I didn't quite give up at this point. I was looking around in the hole, saw that cabezon. I was tempted on swimming into that rock and spearing it, but nope. I wanted to find either A, that lingcod again, or B, I wanted to find that wolf eel. I didn't find that lingcod, but I found another lingcod just over 65, so I was happy, pulled the trigger and brought it up to the surface. This is the first bit of bycatch I've ever had while spearfishing. I used to catch the California sea cucumbers all the time while jigging, while hook and line fishing, but this is my first time spearing one. I brained my lingcod, put it out of its misery, and called the guys.
Should we go? One more? Or if you want to come pick me up, you don't mind? I never see wolf eel. I really want to get this guy.
By the way, I was the only one in the water for about 25 minutes. Everybody else was on the boat. I kept asking if they wanted me to swim back, but they seemed pretty keen on letting me explore, so I was taking advantage of this beautiful reef. And I wanted to find the wolf eel, which I finally did. The footage I captured wasn't the greatest, thus me wanting to come back here and film it again. Hopefully it's still in the same little crevice, but I got footage and I was really pumped to find it. It made my day, made the trip. Actually, the kelp in the shallows made the trip. The whole entire trip was amazing, let's put it that way, but the wolf eel was definitely the icing on the cake.
Wolf eel's right here.
Yeah.
Steam clock. Yeah. I think it likes it, Fred.
He likes that one.
Yeah.
It's a boner.
Yeah. Don't get it too aroused. You probably had to be there, but we found that really funny. We were laughing like a bunch of schoolgirls. In fact, I still laugh when I think back to that moment. Good times, never-ending good times when you're on the water and in the water. The scenery above, the scenery below, it is what keeps us coming back time and time again. And I get chills when I see coastline like this. We went into this crevasse, this little cut in the rocks. The visibility was amazing down below. This is like true Pacific Northwest right here. Doesn't get any more rugged than this. Doesn't get much more beautiful than this either. I used to be all about the warm weather stuff, but cold weather has my heart now. Some more decor for the tree. First spot was nothing short of epic. That was really phenomenal. Going in the shallows there is my favorite, looking at all the kelp, all those cool creatures. I did pretty good on the spearfishing front. I got my 3 rockfish, 2 pretty good size, 1 really good size copper, good size for a copper from what I'm used to spearing. And I got a lingcod. It's probably like 67, 68 centimeters, just over legal, so I'm happy. And the highlight for me was that wolf eel. Actually, the highlight might have been the pinnacle with all the life growing on it. It was just overall amazing. Probably my favorite dive of this year. Favorite dive in a long time in terms of beauty. But we did some exploring, ripped around the coast, looked in a cave. That was fun. Now it's time to go for round 2, second dive spot of the day. I'm gonna look around and just film. If I see a crab, I'll grab a crab. Maybe do some hand harvesting. Seeing some small rockfish. A little bit of a report, so yeah, I don't feel bad leaving my gun behind. 44% battery remaining. I gotta make it count. I forgot my extra batteries at home. All right. Pretty well from the second I jumped in, I knew I was in for a treat. The visibility was just as good as our last spot, and the structure was amazing, and there was kelp everywhere. I was in heaven. This lingcod swam up to me. It would have been right around 65 centimeters, but I had 1 lingcod. I was content. There wasn't a square inch of rock face that wasn't covered in life, minus areas where the urchin barrens were taking its toll. Here you can see the kelp is all eaten away by these purple urchin. Thankfully, I don't suffer from motion sickness, but if you stared at this long enough, and you do, I'm sure you'd be nauseous in a minute. But for me, it's just absolute peace and serenity when I'm floating around in these environments. Just for a bit of reference, you can see how shallow I was. For the most part, in the remaining footage, I was just snorkeling in maybe 10 feet of water. With the odd exception, I dived down to 20 feet, but I was really, really relaxed, and I didn't want to push it past my limits, and there was no need to because there was a lot of life in a few feet of water. I was neutrally buoyant here, maybe a little bit more weighted than I should have been, but flying around weightless is a really cool experience. When I'm snorkeling around in the shallows, I'm often keeping an eye out for 2 things. A, I want to see an octopus, so I'm looking around for tentacles. They blend in really, really well with their surroundings, but also rock greenling. Rock greenling live in this habitat, rocks that get smashed by the waves. They live in the seagrass and the kelp. And there you go, there's the rockfish. Rock greenling, I should say, punk rock greenling. They're pretty psychedelic, thus the selection of this song. This one was skittish though. I'd find it and it would peace out. I'd find it again and it would peace out. I followed it around for a while until I eventually lost it, but I had fun looking, and I didn't just have to lay eyes on the rock greenling to have a good experience. All the colors were truly breathtaking. And there's that rock greenling again, but it peaced out. Look at the colors. Like, this is British Columbia in a nutshell right here. So many people don't realize how good we have it. The rock greenling let me get a bit of a shot on it here. It was hiding in the kelp. They're hard to film. They're a really hard creature to film, but nothing worth getting is easy. I think that's how the expression goes. My apologies if this footage gets a bit redundant. I trimmed down probably an hour's worth of footage to the best, 10 minutes, give or take. I hope it's not boring you, but it brings me back to the moment, so I'm happy to have it on YouTube, so it never goes missing. I found some nice patches of herring as well. Herring, kelp, rock greenling, fried egg jellyfish. Not many things can beat that in my opinion. This spot had very healthy kelp beds. It makes you wonder what the rest of Vancouver Island looked like before the kelp all disappeared. I bet at one point in time in the prime, all of Vancouver Island looked like this, or at least areas where you'd historically see kelp, which is kind of depressing, but at least there's some beautiful areas remaining. Hopefully this one doesn't disappear. As you can see, all those purple urchin right in front of me. I finally found a rock greenling that was okay with me being in its presence. This one, although a little bit timid, it also seemed quite curious of me. Unfortunately, my battery was around 10% at this point. I finally had some really good interactions and my camera died. I got a good clip here and one more clip following this one, probably the highlight. But off camera, I had the rock greenling swim right up to me, like out of the water column, right up to my camera. And I was able to film it, or what I thought was filming it, and realized my camera turned off. I was bummed out. And this right here is probably my favorite clip of the whole entire video. Magical stuff right there. The rock greenling, or punk rock greenling, is something you'd expect to see in the tropics, not here in the PNW. An awesome fish. The second spot was awesome. I didn't spearfish, but had a cool interaction with rock greenling. I saw 3 or 4 throughout the dive. How'd you do, man? Do all right?
Yeah, pretty awesome,
fishy, right?
Yeah.
No legal-sized ling, but...
Me and Joseph ran into that sea lion.
Oh, yeah?
Joseph's comfortable with it. I was just like, hell no. Get me away from it.
At least you didn't have fish on your string and trying to steal it off you.
Yeah.
They do that off this coast. They've been known to. What's the game plan, Fred? Lingcod?
Yeah, we're gonna hit one more spot that hopefully is more lingy.
Yeah,
because I think we only have 1 ling on the boat.
Yeah.
What, 2 maybe?
2.
Which is not a lot compared to the max today. In theory,
Yeah,
would be like 18.
3 each, yeah. And there just so happens to be another boat out there spearfishing.
Where's the lingcod? Did you guys find the lingcod?
Last spot, eh? Last spot. Last spot.
Come on, brother.
Are you gonna dive?
I'm tapped out, man.
Yeah, I'm feeling it too, man.
Yeah, for the camp.
Yeah,
I was slowing down too.
Yeah,
Little
man.
spot there. I was like, okay.
I'm going for it. I want to see
There
the
is a
whole field.
part of me that's like, fuck, if I go in, like maybe there's a lingcod.
Yeah.
The final ling. But
You never know, man. You never know. I think I'm gonna go in with a filming mission. I got some good footage. I got 5 fish already, so I'm just gonna try to catch a clip of that wolf eel again. Remember I said earlier, you might start your dive and the visibility is great, and it gets crappy throughout the day. Well, case in point.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done. That's shit.
Everyone was really tired at this point. I think we put 6 hours in the water on this day, and probably the majority of that time was actually in the water. We were busy nonstop from beginning to end. But I was loving this reef way too much not to continue to dive and explore a little bit more. I gave up on that wolf eel though. The tide came up and I didn't want to push my limits too much given how tired I was, so I just focused on the shallows. This right here was a cabezon. I have speared cabezon quite often. I rarely film them, and when I do, it's usually as they're swimming away, so I was actually really happy to get that clip nice and close. The footage doesn't do justice. It was still a great dive despite the bad viz.
See that? It goes all the way through.
that's sick.
There you go, there you go. It's all good, man. That's cool, man. That's awesome.
Fred, can we go through the hole?
I think I'll fit. Although we head out and our goal is to spearfish, realistically, I'm just trying to feed my soul, and my soul was full. That was an epic day. Really good time with friends and nature. What's that, buddy?
A barnacle.
A barnacle. What's that say?
Barnacle.
You gonna try it?
I think
It's pretty intense.
that's the best barnacle ever.
It's pretty cool, isn't it? I ate one of these off the west coast of Vancouver Island, northern west coast, back in April. Threw it on a campfire. It was really, really good. Yeah, I found those today.
We have one.
sure you can play with them. And those are gonna end up in the tree over here. I got a nice collection of floats, repurposing trash. Yeah, I ate one of these, it was really good on a campfire. Just gonna steam this one tonight. I just grabbed one, knocked it off a rock. I didn't want to take too much of the habitat down there because it was beautiful. These taste like crab, they're good. Harvest in moderation and don't rape and pillage one spot repetitively every single time you go, because they're awesome to look at and they make good habitat for other creatures. As you can see, there's like anemones on there and stuff. Chitin, little, I don't know if you can see that, little shrimpy thing moving around. So yeah, harvest wisely.
2, 1.
All right, buddy, time to meet your maker. He's not gonna like this at all.
Is he dead?
He will be pretty soon. The taste testaroo. I thought my camera was recording. I got Sayla to try to film me, and unfortunately, it wasn't recording, so I missed that. But they taste good. They're pretty delicious and fairly sustainable considering how many there are and the fact that not many people harvest them. They're a nice treat, put it that way. Not something I bring home every single day. This is my favorite recipe, equal parts olive oil, sugar, not very healthy, and white vinegar. This absolutely amazing, like your taste buds are on fire. If you make this recipe, you will not regret it any way, shape, or form. This right here was the lingcod, half a fillet and a bit of rockfish as well. I filleted all my rockfish and scraped a bunch of meat off the bones as well. Try to utilize everything I possibly could. The recipe, we just keep it simple, salt and pepper for the fish and salted butter as well. And in the olive oil mix, we also ground up some garlic to give it that flair, that spice. Can't beat garlic. And the fish I just cooked up in the cast iron skillet. Jasmine made up some homemade aioli as well. Greek yogurt, I think this was 2%. Mayonnaise, again not very healthy. And garlic and lime juice. Where did we get that?
Chris found this in the river, I think.
No, that was Shemanis. Transfer Beach, I found that at the bottom. It's cool that we still have it. It's come in handy, Crystal. Lime to flavor this aioli. I'm sure there's 1.5 million aioli recipes online. You can buy it in the store as well. Easy enough to whip up your own and probably a little bit healthier at the same time. And the lime juice, you can use as much or as little as you want. We use some for the aioli and some for the fish. This is low sodium salt that I picked up. It was expensive, but 18% of what real salt has. I'm only 35, but you want to eat healthy as possible and lower your salt intake. I want to make sure my heart is nice and strong. The older I get, I got to put in that work now when you're younger to make sure you have those quality of life years later. Inside, look at me. You're over there. That was a funny reaction. We used 2 bags of pre-made coleslaw mix. 2 bags seemed to do the trick. The sauce went quite a long ways actually, and it was the perfect amount for 2 bags. I think we used 3/4 cups there for the sauce, and you could probably plus or minus the sugar content as well if you don't want it to be as sweet. But I'm telling you, try it this way at least once because it was great. Avocado in there, fish, and a taco shell. Awesome. Feast. Almost forgot the aioli. It's like the main ingredient. By the way, this is not a healthy meal, but it's gonna taste awesome. I did Mount Benson today, so that's my consolation. And here's a masterpiece: avocado, aioli, lingcod, and rockfish on a taco shell with coleslaw. It is amazing variety of flavors. I also got a chili pepper from the garden. I'm gonna bow this down. The kids are on their last legs. I'm gonna enjoy my food though, enjoy my meal. Thanks for watching. That was an awesome 1.5 weeks off. So it was supposed to be a week, but my trip to Fort McMurray got canceled. Work trip. Say peace out, everybody.
Peace out? What's peace out? What?
Can you say it? Peace out, everybody.
Peace out.
Everybody.
Peace.
Snotface. Mr. Snotface.
Peace out.
Mr. Snotface.
Did you just call Mr. Snotface?
I did.